Hello there, this is The Question, and this is another one of my haul videos. This is the second half of November. I had already put a November part 1 video, which had over 130 volumes, and I split this into two because I didn't want to have a hour and a half, 2 hour long haul video. So the first video was basically through the 15th, and this last probably 40 to 50 volumes is everything I got since then. There was a lot of Black Friday sale stuff at Right stuff like that. I haven't received any of that stuff yet that I've purchased, so that'll all be on my December haul video. But this will be everything for the end of November. Once again, thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Any thoughts, recommendations, any comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with Right Stuff. This is a fairly small batch from Right Stuff for me. I think they sent me one box for the second half of the month. And like I mentioned earlier, I've got a bunch of stuff coming from Black Friday sales from them, so next month will be a lot heavier. So first we've got The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 11. This is the final volume of this series by Ikagami that I'm looking forward to reading. I'm still missing Volume 4 and 8, which are on back order. So hopefully those get sent out to me. Then we've got The Ancient Magus Bride Merkmul official guidebook. This I just had ordered when I had been ordering a bunch of Ancient Magus Bride side stories and stuff. So I normally don't buy books like this, but I figure, I already have the complete collection of everything else. I figure I'd order this. It's kind of gives a little more detail about the characters, kind of the same stuff as the supplement book. I don't know what's different about this one. It's a little thicker. I know there's 2 supplement books for Ancient Magus Bride also, but that. We have Nicola Traveling Around the Demon's World, Volume 4, which from the back says this is the final volume. I have not started reading this. I had been missing Volume, I think 1 for a while, and they finally sent it last month. So now I have all 4 volumes. Can't wait to start reading this. Looks very cute. Kind of reminds me of Ni no Kuni with the artwork there on the back. And we have The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, Volume 2. I have not started reading this yet. I usually wait till I get maybe 3 volumes for some series before I'll actually start reading them. But this one looks like something I will enjoy. So here's Volume 2. Then we have Cigatera, I think is how you pronounce this. So this is Volume 1. I know Volume 1 and 2 both were up for pre-order. I know very little about this series, other than, it's highly regarded. It finally got a release in English. Got some really good artwork here. Really thick kind of volume release here, and I'm looking forward to checking this out. And then I think Volume 2 is maybe next month. That might be it. Okay, then we've got Cat Diary by Junji Ito. I have the smaller paperback version of this, but I love Junji Ito, and Cat Diary, despite not being, being more slice of life and less horror centric for him, this cover kind of makes you think otherwise, but I just really love this story. And so I was definitely going to be picking up this hardcover to match kind of with the other hardcovers. And as you can see here, this is just a great looking book. Cover is glow in the dark, and then you've got kind of the classic Junji Ito artwork, but more where he does scary stuff and a slice of life, living with cats kind of story. So definitely recommend it if you're a Junji Ito fan and you haven't picked this up yet. I mean, the paperback's probably available for fairly cheap. It's a fairly small release, or this hardcover. Then we have A Journal of My Father by Hiro Taniguchi. I actually have never read any books by this creator, but I know, I see his books in a bunch of hauls. They're mostly released by Fanfare, and the artwork looks great. I've heard great stuff about the stories. So as you'll see in this haul, I ended up ordering a bunch of books from this creator to check them out. So here we have a nice hardcover from Right Stuff. It is A Journal of My Father. And yeah, so he created A Distant Neighborhood, The Walking Man, I think A Summit of the Gods is another title. And as you can see here, really nice artwork. So that we have that book. And then we have the final of the Eternal editions. We got Codename Sailor V Volume 2, which is the prequel series that the creator made before starting what eventually became Sailor Moon. I actually just finished through the first 10 Eternal editions of Sailor Moon this month or in November. And it kind of I really liked the first volume, second volume. As it went, I was just kind of more, I wasn't enjoying it quite as much. It's a little thin. It's just a ton of, it's just not my kind of manga. It's just kind of a generic action story from arc to arc. There's almost no character development, which was, I was expecting that there was going to be more of that. It's basically like they get 2 pages of downtime and then it's another end of the world arc is happening. So not really my type of kind of action story. I definitely don't regret reading it. I'm going to check out these 2 Sailor V volumes and see how I like those since I have them. And but the presentation of these, like I mentioned in other haul videos, is fantastic. I love the large style, the great paper quality, just overall really nice release. Unfortunately, I'm just not enjoying the book as much as I really hoped I was going to. And then we have this giant, which will barely fit in the frame, which is Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 9. I think I mentioned at the end of my last haul video, my goal for December was that I was going to actually start reading through all of these. I've never actually read Berserk. So I did. I'm almost done with Volume 1. I just started reading that in the last day or two. And it's really great. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I almost had no expectations. I didn't know really too much about how it was going to be. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, why did you buy 9 giant deluxe editions if you had no idea what it was going to be? And that is a valid question. But it's on so many people's favorite of all time lists. I was sure I was going to be able to enjoy it. And at the worst, with a lot of manga, if I end up not liking something, I can always trade it or sell it on Reddit and usually break even and give it to someone else who's going to enjoy it. So I wasn't too worried about it. So, but here's Volume 9, which is the latest release. So hopefully, maybe I'll make it through all 9 in the month of December. We'll see. And that was everything from Right Stuff. Okay, so next we got what I picked up from Barnes & Noble. With the holiday, they had some coupons, they had some deals, and then there was some times where I just walked into a store and happened to grab something. So here's everything that I got from Barnes & Noble this month. Start out with, we have Steins Gate, the Complete Collection, which is an oversized hardcover, and this is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. That was the main reason that I purchased this. I know that this story, I know there's a video game. I'm not really, I play a ton of video games, but I'm not really I've tried to get into visual novels. Haven't really been able to connect with any of them. I actually have not tried Steins Gate, but I think I actually have one of them. But yeah, so I don't know too much about this story, but with this being a Barnes & Noble exclusive and it was at a decent price, I figured I'd better pick it up before it gets rare, and then I was going to regret it. So here we go here. Yeah, like I said, not too sure. I mean, from these pictures, it looks like kind of like a slice of life story. Like I don't see a lot of action or anything, so I'm not too sure what this is about. But there's that. And then we have Spy Family. So finally volumes 2 and then also volume 3 came back into stock. So I had volumes 1, 4, and 5, or 1, 4, 5, and 6, and 2 and 3 just finally came back into stock. So I had these from Barnes & Noble, and they are finally here, so I can actually start reading them. I did read volume 1 and really enjoyed it, so that's what kind of got me wanting to get these. So hopefully these become more readily available, so people can read through this. Then we have A White Rose in Bloom. I think this is a fairly new series. This is by the creator of Utsubora and another series, or another book that I just read that I can't remember. Oh, Maiden Railways. So I just finished the short story collection Maiden Railways and enjoyed it. And then I didn't even know it was the same creator of Utsubora, which I have. And then she had some other series. So this is a new series that just came out recently, volume 1, and I have so I grabbed that from Barnes & Noble. They had 1 copy left, and here we go. So it just, you know, looks like something I would enjoy. Fairly small volume. I didn't realize there's some denting to the pages that I'll have to close up to get that to fix, but there's that volume. And then also while I was picking that up, I also picked up A Life Turned Upside Down. My dad's an alcoholic. I had seen this in some websites, single volume, like best single volume mangas, and this was on their list, so I figured I'd give this one a shot. And then this series, I kept seeing that it was like, you know, out of print or harder to find. I see people selling these volumes for like $40, but they're in stock all the time at Barnes & Noble. So I'm not really sure why why people are trying to sell them for more. But here we have Imanon, Memories of Imanon. This is volume 1. Look at the artwork. This is some really nice art. And then they also had volume 3. They did actually have volume 2, but I already had volume 2 coming from somewhere else, or I had ordered it from a different website. So because that was the only volume they did have in stock. So I got volume 1 and 3 from Barnes & Noble. So that's everything from Barnes & Noble. And then I got 2 other pickups that were directly from Fantagraphics. So first we have Red Red Rock and Other Stories. This is by Hayashi Seiichi. This I had, what I like to do if there's books I'm interested in, I usually put them on my Amazon wish list. And then I kind of like, you know, once a day or once every couple days, I kind of just go through there and see if anything's on sale or anything like that that I want to pick up. And it also just gives me kind of a wish list to remember of books that kind of single volume books that I'm interested in, if I'm going to another website and I'm looking for them. So this volume, when I very first put it on, was like retail price. Over the last like month or two, it went up to like, okay, $35 was like the cheapest. And then it jumped up to $80, and then it was it was $100 was the cheapest. It was sold out at Barnes & Noble. It was gone everywhere. So I just happened to go to the Fantagraphics website, and they still have copies in stock. So I grabbed it for retail price. I'm pretty sure they had free shipping if you ordered a certain amount. So some really nice artwork here. As you can tell, it's kind of, it's hard to describe what this color is. It's almost like a reddish brown is the color of the artwork. And then I also threw in another book that I had on my wish list, Fukushima Devilfish, another kind of classic release that I've been meaning to pick up. This has some great colors on it. I love this artwork. It's very similar. The colors reminded me of Zom 100's covers. And then once again, this one has a cool blue color to everything. So really looking forward to checking out these books. And that was it from Fantagraphics. So next, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but out of the local bookstores that the local used bookstores that I go to, my Half Price bookstore, like I have two within like 30 minutes of me, and both of them are like pretty much always bust. Like I'm so jealous when I see people getting like these complete like series and all these great book pickups from Half Price books. Like I almost never find anything at any Half Price books that we have. The main thing that I find at them is remaindered like 7 Seas titles. Like our two Half Price books like get a ton of remaindered 7 Seas books, and remaindered means like they were overproduced, and so they put a black dot on the bottom and sell them to used places or places that, you know, for a cheaper price. So that's why you get them for half off. So the only pickup I got this time was Alice and Zoroku, Volume 1. This book, it had always looked like, you know, it always looked cute, something I might check out, and it was like $6. So I decided to grab this volume. And then I picked up 2 volumes from Bookmen's, which is another local store that I mentioned multiple times. So we have a Fumi Yoshinaga series. I have All My Darling Daughters, and I've enjoyed that single volume. This is a series I've always been meaning to grab. There's just a ton of volumes, and there wasn't a lot more. Normally I get a bunch of good pickups at this Bookman's, and they didn't have much of anything. So I grabbed volume 5 of this series. I think it's Uku, The Inner Chambers, volume 5, and then volume 8. And then one thing I've noticed with these covers, it's kind of like the covers have like this weird feeling to them, and they're this kind of washed out black cover. I almost never see these where the covers are not like, have like some sort of like marks all over them and stuff. So it's really hard to, I mean, even when I see these new at places, it's like hard to find any of these covers because of the material that they're using, and because of the kind of black it is. They all look, if you catch them from a certain angle, you can tell they're kind of like all marked up. And then this next little batch is all from Zia Records. So we have Livingstone Volume 1. Like it says on the cover, this is from the creator of Dead Man Wonderland. Another book and series that I don't know too much about, but I saw this in a haul, and they mentioned really enjoying it. And this copy was like in mint condition, so I figured I'd pick this one up. Really nice cover. I'm not sure if this is a current series, an ongoing. Don't know too much about it. Here we go. And then we've got 5 volumes of Saint Young Men that I found at this store. They were all used, so they were all at a discounted price. This is a series that I've heard nothing but great things about, and you know, was always on my radar that someday I would pick it up. And they had 5 volumes. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is a book about, it's kind of like a comedy slice of life about Jesus and Buddha rooming together in Tokyo. So, you know, not something that you're supposed to take super serious. Let's see some of the artwork here. So we got volume 1. Got volume 2. We've got volume 3. We've got volume 4. And then we have volume 5. So I know this is still going, like I see releases still happening, so I'm not too sure how far this actually goes, but they had the first 5 volumes, so I picked up all of those. And that was it from the used stores. Okay, so I had one pickup from Amazon, and this was quite the steal. I managed to grab Comet Can't Communicate Volume 6, which for anybody who collects this series knows, this is the one volume that for some reason is out of print and is always out of stock. So I had it saved on my Amazon wish list, and just one of those days where I happened to be checking it, it was listed by a third-party seller for $5.49, and it is in pretty much brand new condition, really good condition. And this was the one volume of Comet Can't Communicate that I don't have. I had made it through the first, I think, 3 or 4 volumes, so now I can actually continue this series. So here we go. And the third-party seller that was actually selling it was Half Price Books, which I've never bought anything from them as a third-party seller on Amazon. So it was kind of weird. I was expecting it to be another country's release or something for it to have been that cheap. So I must have just happened to grab it right as it went up, or someone else hadn't seen it, because it would have been snatched up quick. So we got that. And then I had one pickup from eBay, and that is Blue Spring by Teo Matsumoto. This is one of the more harder to find of his series, or of his books in English. This is an old Viz release that has not been reprinted. So this goes for a more expensive price. I managed to grab it for lower than what it's going for, but it's still quite a bit more than retail. But I really enjoy his work, and this is one that I didn't have, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. Looks like we got some sort of like school, a group of high school students that are getting up to some sort of shenanigans. So there we have Blue Spring. And then I got a bunch of stuff from Reddit swaps. So if you're looking for cheaper manga, definitely be a part of the Reddit community. I'm always finding good deals on there. I sold off some stuff there the other last month. So in my last haul video, you saw that I had grabbed a bunch of Slam Dunk. I had gotten a complete set other than 19, 29, and 31, which were the 3 rarest volumes. And I had gotten 3 of those that were ex-library copies that were in really rough shape. So I wasn't too happy with that. So I ended up getting those from Reddit and then selling off the extras that I have. So I do now have volumes 19 in great actual condition. I have 19, 29, and 31. So I do finally have a complete set, all in good condition for me to read. And then I sold off all the other stuff that I had left over. Because trying to get Slam Dunk, I ended up with like 2.5 almost full sets of Slam Dunk. So I sold that all off over the last month. This one just came in the other day, and I bought a whole set of this series. This is Ikagami, The Ultimate Limit. This is a book that I always catches my eye, and I always meant to pick up. This is a mature book, but I got all of the volumes of this. So we have 1, we have 2. These older ones are a little yellowed, but as past 4, it looks like everything's looks fairly new shape. Volume 5. If anybody's read this and thinks I should prioritize it on my reading list, let me know. Got 7. So I'm definitely going to read it, but I have a ton of books, so I don't know when I'm actually going to get to it. We have 8. We have 9. And then we have a volume 10, which is the final volume. So there's all that. Okay. And then next we have, this is Downfall from Inio Asano. So this was actually part of one of my, I had this listed on, or I had ordered this on one of my very first Right Stuff orders, probably back in like May or June, which is kind of really when I started using Right Stuff. And this has been on back order at Right Stuff in that whole time. So I've gotten everything else from that order other than this one book. And so every one of my orders going forward, like I've gotten most of the stuff, and it's literally just this book is like 4 orders back from everything else. So So someone on Reddit was selling a bunch of other books, and this was in it for basically retail. So I picked it up from them and then canceled the back order that I had from Right Stuff. And this was actually still sealed and new. So can't wait to, or I'm so glad to finally get this and actually be able to read this. I finished Pun Pun last month, and I've read through Solonen, What a Wonderful World, A Girl on the Shore. So I just need to read this and then a couple other books by Asano. This same person sold me a Zoo in Winter, another Taniguchi book. This is another one I've been meaning to read. And here you go. Look at the artwork. Really nice looking hardcovers. And then they also had The Swamp by Yoshiharu Tsugi. This is a drawn and quarterly release. It looks like these are books, the first volume of 7, like it says here. So I have volume 2, or volume 2 was in my last Right Stuff pickup from last month, and this is the first one of their releases. So we have The Swamp. And I don't know too much about this series, other than, you know, it's one of those classic manga books. We have The Swamp. And then we have another Taniguchi release. This is actually not a hardcover. This is Skyhawk. And then we have one of the Tezuka books that I didn't have, and that is the Book of Human Insects. This is one that I've always been meaning to grab. Didn't have. Now I have like 40 volumes or 40 different Tezuka books in my collection. And then we have The Boxman. These are all books that I had in my wish list, and then like one person was selling like a bunch of these. So I got them all for a good price. So The Boxman is another one that just looked, I mean, that looks very bizarre. Come on. I mean, that's the very first page I turned into. That tells you that's a good book. So we got The Boxman. And then this series is a series that I've been meaning to pick up forever, and I'm just getting the feeling that it's going to start getting out of print. So I grabbed the whole series, and that is, get an order here, House of Five Leaves by Natsume Ono. I have a bunch of her books, but I did not have this series. So I got all 8 volumes. I think I had 1 volume of this series already that I had picked up in one of my last hauls from a used bookstore, but they were selling the whole set. So now I have a duplicate of one of the volumes that I can sell off. I think it was 2. And we got 3. And most of the Ono stuff I've read has been like one-shot kind of short story stuff. So I'm looking forward to checking out an actual ongoing series from her. And the covers, it definitely looks, you know, you can definitely tell Ono art when you see it if you've read any of her stuff. We got 6. And then we have 7. And then we have 8, which is the final volume and is quite a bit thicker than the rest of them. So there we go. And that was everything I picked up from Reddit. Okay, so that was everything for November. So once again, if you haven't watched the part 1, go ahead and go back and watch that. That one was over 130 volumes that I got in this first half of November. Tons of stuff. This part 2 is a little smaller. Just a little teaser for next month. Besides all the Black Friday stuff and kind of the holiday sales from Right Stuff, I haven't received it yet, but I managed to buy the rarest volume that I will have in my collection. That will be in my December hauls. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is one that never pops up anywhere, and I just managed to get a copy. So looking forward to showing you all that. And thanks for watching my video. Like I said, subscribe. I've been doing this for a few months. I always love when people give me comments or ideas or things that they would like me to do. So go ahead and let me know, and have a great holidays. Thanks.